So here we are, PRL AAC Season 3 World Constructors Championship leaders, Dark Knights. This Lotus team here, Blue Tank and Stevo. Troy, Esteverson, how are you?
I am doing good.
Same to me.
So, first question here. Apparently the world is supposed to end tomorrow, and that doesn't really matter. Say what you want, whatever. No one will be able to watch this, I guess. If that happens, should we just quit right now and go to the track for at least one more time? What game and what cars are you guys thinking of racing if this is your last day on Earth?
This was my last day on Earth. I think I would do other things than sim race, but if I was sim racing, I would probably go Race 07 Formula Masters on Hockenheim.
Steverson, what about you, buddy?
Well, I was probably going to get my Lotus on F1 2012 and going to the track. No reason to do something really different on it.
Fair enough. Alright, moving along here. Troy, before we start to talk about the AAC, you are the Dirt 3 American Championship organizer, the International Precision Sim Series organizer, and the PRL Chief Steward. Lots of PRL stuff going on in there. Many PRL drivers don't even know how the steward system works. Could you quickly describe how that system works and how you develop it for the league?
Yeah, so basically there's an email system that when a racing incident happens on the track, if you have a video or, good picture representation, you email it to that steward's email. And the chief steward, which is, I've actually just resigned as chief steward, is now DJ Davey. He is the new chief steward. I had to resign due to school commitments next term, but basically email in your racing incident video to the chief steward. He'll take it and he'll look at it, make sure it's a legitimate protest, and then he'll PM or email the other drivers involved and try and get their videos. And then behind the scenes, we'll start in the private stewards forum, we'll start a thread, get 5 uninvolved and non-racing region related stewards to comment on it, and referencing the rule book, and then the 5 stewards will talk about it, analyze it, look at the rules, and we'll come up with the penalty, and then the chief steward will go to the championship forum, and there will be a thread that's pinned and locked, and he will report it there, and that's pretty much it. It's the most time-consuming thing is getting all the evidence, and then we really look at it from all the different angles and talk about it. So it is pretty well organized. It's not just free for all. We have a good system working, and I think it's going to be good to go in the future.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Looking towards that future, what can we expect for the Dirt 3 and the IPSS seasons coming up?
Well, unfortunately, we missed we didn't get enough donations to get it Precision Sim Series Season 2 for the next few months, so we'll have to delay that again a few more months. And then Dirt 3 looks like we're gonna set up some Dirt 2 fun runs. We've kind of outplayed Dirt 3. We're gonna set up some Dirt 2 fun runs to do in the next few weeks, and then when Dirt 4 comes out, we're gonna try and get back strong with a full division and get back to some good rallying.
Let's see here. Moving along. Troy, you are the #1 driver with the Lotus team. Why did Lotus pick Esteverson for this season?
Esteverson, I knew and respected as a clean driver, and he's a consistent driver. He's always there. He always shows up. He's dedicated, and that's what I needed really as a teammate to win the Constructors. Really, really want to win the Constructors. And Stevo was the perfect teammate because he loves Lotus, so there was going to be absolutely no dispute on the car choice. And he's consistent, he's fast, he's always there, he's always shown up. So it's a perfect teammate choice in my opinion.
Steverson, what about you? What do you feel is the more important or the more coveted championship to be holding at the end of the year? Drivers or Constructors?
Well, I currently have more chances on the Constructors Championship. On the past season, I had no teammate almost the entire season, and now I have a teammate, so I have also new pressure and a new fun on this championship. On the Drivers' Championship, I am 38 points behind the leader. It's not too much if I start to get something some wins, some podiums. Maybe I can drop it to interesting values at the end of the year, but winning the Constructors Championship will be very good, as we have to work with your teammates, and your points count, their points count too, and you have to always try your best and be careful to not lose all of your points by doing something strange on the race. So the Constructors Championship will be more important for me and more challenging.
Oh, thank you very much for that answer. Speaking of points and championships, final standings last year, you guys were first and third in the World Drivers' Championship. Many drivers said this would be the strongest team in the AAC Season 3. Esteverson, you joined 2 times World Drivers' Championship Troy. Was that a good decision for you to be the second driver in the team?
Well, this was a good decision for sure. It's now a new challenge for me because, as I said, I had no teammate in the past season. And now I have some pressure, and I don't want to slow down the team with an experienced driver doing all the job. And the numbers can say by themselves. I have less points, so yes, I am maybe the number 2 of the team, but it did not happen yet. No faster than you orders yet.
After 11 rounds, Lotus is leading the World Constructors Championship. Does that mean this was a good season so far for your team?
Yes, it was a good season for us, I think. With both drivers outside the highest step of the podium frequently, it really should be a teamwork instead of one man doing all the job, and we're going very well on it. We need Muggle's Land to start winning races, as Mercedes and Sauber are now threats, and it's not interesting for us to see them winning a lot of points.
Yeah, I would say on, if you looked at average points, obviously we've had a higher average points if you totaled all the races, and that's why we have more points now. But if you looked at the constructors graph, there's Moogle does the nice graphs that show the constructors points. It was pretty tight with Mercedes the start of the season. And, it's only a 29-point gap, and there's only a 33 back to Sauber, so Sauber's definitely come on strong. If you look at Sauber's line on that graph, it's pretty impressive how quickly it just escalated right up, and now Sauber's challenging Mercedes for second. So, definitely, we one of the races, Laurel qualified on pole, and I said to Steve, I was on the team radio, I was like, we need to kind of encourage Josh and PJ to get going here. When Laurel wins races, obviously Mercedes benefits, and Shadow Eno is a really, really strong driver. He's always up there in the upper midfield. So we definitely just need to keep consistent, keep in the upper midfield, and yeah, I think so far it has been a good season because we are leading, and we've been in the fight for the lead since the beginning, but still it's nowhere near over. 9 races is a lot to happen. If you can build a 29-point lead over half the season, you can easily lose it in the second half. So it's nowhere near over, and it's going to be really fun and exciting to finish it off.
Troy, you won the World Drivers' Championship in AAC Seasons 1 and 2. Obviously, you want to win it again and continue as the only World Drivers' Championship in the AAC, right? Well, right now you're not showing the same speed in this season, but you're only 22 behind the championship leader of Moogle Slam. Tell us about how your season is so far, and how do you expect to get your 3rd title?
To be honest, because of how my performance is this season, I'm not confident for the Drivers' Championship. I think I've ranted about the handling model quite a bit at the beginning of the season, and that really slows me down to a degree I can't measure. I'm not disappointed. I'm having fun in the championship. That's what's important. And I have a good teammate, strong teammate, and we're fighting for constructors. So no drivers, but still a lot of good points to come away from this season.
Esteverson, last season you had several fastest laps and a few pole positions for you. With this new game, are you getting the same performance as you were?
I'm not having the same performance. I don't know where exactly I'm losing so much speed. I have a lot of interest to know what I'm doing so wrong, and I just need to know how the game wants me to drive the car, and maybe I can get some better results.
Steve-O, Right now, you are 38 points behind the championship leader, PJ. What is your goal for the rest of this season?
The goal does not matter too much when I'm on track. I'm always trying to do my best, even when I'm last on the track. So the goal is to improve my position in the standings and maybe finish the top 4 in the championship.
Alright, Troy. Last season, Lotus led the World Constructors Championship for 18 rounds, but then in the last race of the season, Mercedes jumped ahead and won. This season, we see Lotus again leading, and Mercedes is right behind. Both teams seem slower, and this season, we also have Season 1 champions, Sauber, joining the fight. How important is the Constructors title for you, and do you think your team can get it this season?
Okay, yeah, Season 2 was interesting because most of the season, it was me driving for Lotus without a teammate and Michael driving for Mercedes without a teammate. So, yeah, right at the end, Lauro came back and started racing the last few races, and so Mercedes got the jump. The first season, we just couldn't challenge Sauber. Joel was really quick. Josh was always consistent. And yeah, I mean, when I came back for Season 2, the goal was, I told John too, like, well, let's just get these Constructors. You know, I'm okay if I don't win the drivers. I won't be upset. I just want to win the Constructors. Ended up winning the drivers and not the Constructors. So I really, really do just want to win the Constructors. And I think it's tougher than ever, to be honest, because Lauro and Shadow Eno is a really strong team. Disco and J Digital, I kind of wrote them off. I didn't think Sauber would be in it this year, but Josh has a string of the last 4 races. He was second, third, first. Got my little graph open, so I know that. So Sauber, obviously, with Josh getting so much extra points, Sauber got so much extra points. So yeah, it's a 3-way fight now for sure, and I think, yeah, we can do it because we're both consistent. Me and Steve, you know, come to the races, and it's kind of a weird team dynamic because we come to the races, and there are some races we literally say hello and nothing else. But I still feel like a team, a good, strong team. We do talk, you know, a little bit, and we'll work together on pit strategy, and you know, we made some good calls, we made some bad calls, and I think team-wise, we definitely have a team that can win the championship, but like I said before, we have some really strong competition, and but I definitely want to win this thing. Third time's the charm. Let's get this Constructors Championship.
Steverson, your thoughts? World Constructors Championship is the main goal for you this season as well?
Yes, we are half point of this season. We are on first position, so we want to keep it that place for sure. And I think we will be able to do it. Try already won 2 races, and sometimes we get to finish on the podium. And for the Constructors Championship, it will be very good for us to get a 1-2 finish on some race and to the end.
And finally, for the downside of that, any really big uh-oh or oops moments that you want to share that you'd rather forget about that have happened to you in any of the PRL seasons you've taken?
There was one thing that unfortunately got caught on camera at Malaysia, which was in qualifying. PJ was behind me, and I went into the DRS zone on the 4th to last corner. It kind of sweeps down and to the left, and then sweeps up and around the hill to the right, and then you do the 2 long straights to finish off the lap. On that downward sweeping corner, the game lost my save game, so I had to redo the configs, and I didn't do the force feedback. So I thought, I'll just do, you know, one lap and just get in there and then do the force feedback, just get a lap down on the board. And then the force feedback was so wild and crazy at full speed that it threw me off the track, and probably the most hilarious crash I've ever seen myself do, because I bounced. Basically, from PJ's perspective, I slid off the track, bounced over the little hill, and then face planted into the wall. It was quite funny.
Steverson, what about you? Have there been any big or oops moments that you've had that you'd like to share with us?
Well, I can remember some things that happened to me in the past season. On this season, I didn't have too much, but on the last season, we were racing on Monza. I was trying to pass Mughal and he was also trying to pass someone, and I was being held by the two drivers. I tried to pass them on the main straight using DRS, but I hit the brakes too late. I basically T-boned Mughal on the turn, and he said a mumble, "Oh, Steverson," so he was really angry with me. But I let him pass, and hopefully it did not cost too much for him.
Alright, well, Steverson, Troy, thank you very much for taking some time and chatting with us. Hopefully we'll see you both on track next year. We're looking at you, Troy, for that one. And have a great rest of the season.
Thanks for the interview. See you on track. Bye.
Alright, thanks Phil. Thanks Laura. It's a lot of fun.